Hi all, I'm Ajay Golapalli from Informatica. I run the entire ecosystem partnerships. And I have Dennis from Databricks, a partner in crime. Dennis?
Hi folks, thanks for joining us. So my name is Dennis DeBow. I'm part of the ISV partner team here at Databricks. Show of hand, how many of you is like first Data and AI Summit? Ah, interesting, good, awesome. Glad to have you with us. Appreciate the fact that you're joining us today. So I have to we'll talk about Unity Catalog and how Informatica integrates with Databricks and that modern stack. A little forward-looking statement. Legally, we basically have to share this with you. Whatever is being said here is, a forward-looking statement. So you can take a snapshot if you want. There you go. All right. And so I'm not Pradeep. I'm here to replace Pradeep. Pradeep is also a peer of mine. We work on the same team. So happy to be here and stepping in for Pradeep. He's got some. He had some additional conflicts. So what we'll talk about today is the Databricks and Informatica partnership. We have a very healthy and strong partnership. How do we bring value using Informatica and Databricks? And then Ajay here is going to do some demos, and then we'll have some Q&As. All right? All right. So from a partnership perspective, hopefully some of you attended Informatica World about a month ago. There was a lot of great content that was shared about the agentic world and how Informatica is going to be managing all these agentic workflows. Informatica is a really strong company. We have a very great partnership. There are selected tiers of us, so really high in our tiering and category system. So last year they won the Partner of the Year. Kind of got closed this year, right? But exactly. And we have hundreds of joint customers using Databricks and Informatica as well. Right? Any of you using IDCM right now? There you go. That's great. So that's good. I'm assuming the rest of you guys are Power Center users. Either or, we have a great integration point. And then you'll see in a minute here. All right. So this is kind of the landscape. If you look at the left side of this screen, these are all the Informatica components that are fully integrated with the data intelligence platform. So there's a very great integration from a Unity Catalog perspective, providing the governance between your Informatica components and Databricks. Obviously, all that starts with the uniform data lake foundation, the integration with your data formats. And there's a full stack of integration, fully integrated from Informatica and Databricks. Ajay?
Thanks, Dennis. Thank you so much for introducing the IDMC to many of us here. One question. How many of you all work on data? Just a show of hands. I think everybody here works on data. Everybody works on data. Doesn't matter what your role is. Are you a data owner, data steward, or are you a data integration engineer, or a data scientist? It doesn't matter what your title says, but end of the day, we all work on data. So when you look at from an Informatica perspective, the way we look at data, especially on the cloud data governance, is mainly three pillars. Governance provides the risk and compliance. Every catalog in the world says the same thing, that we provide risk and compliance. Because that is the essence of catalog. They have to provide risk and compliance. But Informatica looks beyond risk and compliance. The enterprise requires a common data quality observability within the data catalog itself. So we look at as a second pillar called as a data quality within the data governance. And this data quality provides us how much the data is complete. Is the data the correct set of data for doing your data science workloads? Is the data even skewed to do, like, for example, if you're doing a model and if you're having an area under the curve, is my data providing a 0.5 or a 0.91? It changes various factors, especially when you have your, data cleansed and readily available. And the third We also
No,
look
I'm
at from
saying
an
in my
analytical
ear
point of view
it's
is
too loud.
data sharing. Many of us have this trouble. We go
I
to
got it. Okay,
systems,
thanks.
we go into, let's say for example, we go into every single environment and then say, like,
Sorry?
I want data from SQL, I want data
Holy
from
smoke, this is
SaaS
really
solutions like
loud.
Salesforce.
Oh,
I, I want data from multiple locations, but nobody says, actually, customer says, I want customer data. I want orders data. I want my invoice data. That's what customers ask for. Am I audible? Okay, thank you. So when the customer says these are the important things that they need, they don't care whether the data is stored in Oracle or whether data is stored in SQL or whether data is in Salesforce, whether data is in any environment. They don't care about it. So that is where Informatica adds a lot of value in terms of saying follow the data object model rather than following the system object model, follow the data object model, where we can provide access controls and where we can provide data quality and data cataloging experience on the governance portfolio in an enterprise. That's why Informatica looks at it. We did not do it all by just the data governance alone. We saw the product side of it, a list of 7 applications and 7 services. We also built an AI engine called Claire. And if you go back to YouTube in 2016 videos, you will see a lot more how Claire was introduced. It was introduced as the next big geeky thing at that time, but now it became common across many places because Claire is changed the data way people look at data. Claire is the AI governance behind this modern data governance. It provides various algorithms behind it. There are machine learning algorithms to looking at text-based analytics, reinforcement learnings, many of the classification, regression model, and NLP to SQL, SQL to NLPs. Everything happens within Claire. The way Claire works is when you ask a question, Claire knows what your intent is, and based upon the intent, it provides an answer. It is not just a chat box or a chat window, but it provides a lot more behind the scenes. It provides a front end for your catalog. So let's take a look at the demo. Don't believe whatever I say. Just look at the demo. So when you look at the demo, right, in a Claire, what we introduced this year called Claire GPT, what it does, you can ask any question within the Claire on the data catalog. You can say, I want to know what is my, let's say we are in California. Let's say talk about California Consumer Privacy Act is. I don't know how many you know of it. I was not aware of it until last week when I started putting this demo. And when I want to know in my enterprise if I have any policies related to CCPA, that's California Consumer Privacy Act, it's a mouthful. And what it says is, it provides me the organization policies that I as an enterprise need to consider this policy for my organization. When I consider this policy, I also need to know, like, this is too much information. This is not how we commonly talk in your enterprise. This is not how I talk. When I talk about it, I say like, hey, what is it? Is it an email ID? Is it a username? Is it a first name? That's the kind of things we notice. So we want to know what is our enterprise glossary looks like. So our next question will be like most often, show me a preview of the policy first. And then when you can see the policies, you will be able to see what type of a policy it is. And it also provides a quality of it. It provides, is it like how good as an organization data related to this policy that we have? Is it a high quality? Is it complete? Is it the right set of data for doing my machine learning models? And I can also ask about the glossary terms. It provides the glossary terms saying what are the kind of business terms are related to this policy. For example, it says my first name, last name, email address. All those things come under the Claire policies. And you also can chat with this and say like, what Databricks fields are related to this policy? Because at the end of the day, we are looking at a system, what is stored. We want curious about, as a data owner, I want to know what data elements are related to this policy inside the Databricks environment. And we can find out what are the columns. And we can also find out what is this columns aligned with. What is the columns, how are the columns quality looking like, the value distribution. And we can also look at beyond that, it's saying like which table all these columns found in. Now we saw, normally we go on a hierarchy. We go from a catalog, schema, table, column names. Rather, I'm going from, tell me what columns are those, what tables do contain these columns. And it provides you what kind of a column it is within the entire environment and what are the related fields for this column itself. So this CLAR GPT provides an entry point for all the data owners, making their lives very simple so that they can access the elements within the CLAR itself. But guess what? We need more about information, right? I said this about catalogs. Why am I talking about this? This is the front end for the catalog, but let's take a look at the back end too. Hey Dennis, do you want to talk about Unity Catalog? So what is Unity Catalog, right? Everybody knows Unity Catalog. We always been talking about it in last 3 Databricks summits. Unity Catalog provides a unified governance for data and AI. It helps enterprises address the 4 key challenges, if you look about it. Unified visibility into data and AI, and also provides a kind of governance within the Databricks environment. It provides the access control policies within the Databricks environment, and it contains the data itself. If you think about all that thing about catalog, it provides a catalog, a schema, a table name, and the actual data is within the catalog itself. That's the main purpose of Unity Catalog. The way Informatica extends the catalog is by consuming the metadata for the enterprise. So Informatica takes an enterprise catalog layer. It provides a catalog of catalogs behavior where you have many catalogs. If you have, especially if you have different kind of services, if you are in Azure or AWS, you have your own catalogs, and then you have Unity Catalog. And then if you have the other data warehouses in your environments, you will have their own catalogs. So combining all these catalogs into one place, providing ability to discover data, providing semantic intelligence, providing glossaries, providing root cause analysis, impact analysis, the relationship between the objects, business context across multiple systems combined together. All of these services gets built in with Informatica's Cloud Data Governance Catalog. That is the purpose of this catalog of catalogs experience. And many thousands of customers utilize it today to achieve their outcome in the enterprise mechanisms. Why? Just take a look at the demo itself and see what does this catalog thingy provides us. So if you look at from a Informatica perspective, Informatica Data Governance and Catalog is one of the chiclets that's on the homepage of the Informatica homepage. And it provides you with a dashboard where you can search for data terms. All that what we did in CLAR GPT, we're going to do almost similar things, but now from a data owner perspective, not from a data consumer, from a data owner perspective, thinking about how do I look at these terms. What I showed you earlier was the same experience in a more of a natural language processing. This is more of a technical terms or business terms and glossary terms and search and look up the data itself. It provides a data quality scorecards, data dashboards, and lineage items. You can search for a particular term within the Databricks ecosystem. It's all jointed together with the Unity catalogs, REST API, and information schema being consumed within the Informatica's enterprise data catalog. So this provides, for example, the various terminologies, and we can also see the lineage in a more natural way of looking at saying, where is my data journey? Is the data coming from my enterprise in an Oracle system, moving into ADLS, moving into Databricks, and I'm making the code change within the Databricks notebooks, and now I move it back into Databricks in the silver layer and the golden layer. All this information, it's practically every organization does this today. So when you look at the lineage, you'll be able to see this, where is the data coming from, and how is it being stored in Databricks, how is it being consumed in your applications. And now they have coined a new term called platinum layer, where you have visualizing the analytics data with Power BI reports or Genie reports, everything where you can look at it. You can take a look of the entire hierarchy of data itself. You can look at from end-to-end perspective. That's a uber goal of saying, my data when it came to the system at 60% quality, and I'm doing my analytics, I want to be at 90% quality or 100% quality. That is the whole lineage that we can see within the Databricks, within the Informatica's enterprise catalog experience. And not only that, you can also see not only the columns and the tables and the fields, but also add on top of it, what was the quality journey of the data. So the data journey's quality If I go back and see, like, I want to add the different quality layers, whether it's aggregated quality or whether I want to look at individual accuracy, validity of it, or I can look at certifications or business objectives, you can see the journey of the data along with how it is being curated over the period of time. And I can tell you this, when you go back to the booth area to see a demo, they'll be able to show you that we are the only catalog company, that catalog servicer provider, that can scan the notebooks in Databricks environment and tell you how the data gets transformed, not from source to destination, but within the notebook, which part of the code component changes the data's journey. That is also scanned and provided in the lineage within the data, within the enterprise catalog environment. And you can ask me, why do I need this? If you do a root cause analysis or impact analysis, as a data engineer, when I started my journey, it's not an easy process. I have to go back and take a look at my data and then say, which part of the code is making the change to what part of code, what part of the data set, data element itself. So I need to do all this analysis. It helps me to make sure that there is redundancy, there is resiliency on the data. So with this, what I'm going to show you is the dashboard, which contains all this information where you can be the starting point for the entire enterprise data governance catalog. And what we also did, we didn't stop there. We put across the blueprint for the enterprise-grade Gen AI application. So if an organization thinking about generative AI, how do I use this catalog? What made me thinking was, everybody talks about generative AI, take a data set, put a chatbot in front of it, you're generative AI, right? But what will happen if you have multiple systems in play and you want single chatbot? For example, let's say you think about a supply chain bot, a supply chain co-pilot, where the data has to come from Salesforce with sales orders, where there is data coming from master data management for all parts and components, where there is analytical data sitting in Databricks that has to be integrated. So what we did is we created this metadata intelligence, which will provide metadata. So you're querying against the metadata rather than the data. So the metadata goes to the RAG chain and then able to go through the entire data journey process for generative AI and able to fetch and provide the Q&A between the chat interface itself. So with this, as I said, 3 important things. We talk about governance, democratization, and observability. And if you're going to attend my next sessions, there are a couple of other sessions. We are talking about how the entire Informatica IDMC is going to talk about how does it work with Unity Databricks. And we're also talking about tomorrow with Deloitte, how master data management is providing customers eventually a golden record on Databricks environment. Do try to attend these sessions if you can. And thank you for listening to us. Any questions that I can take?